everybody, it's Tuna here. I wanted to do my very first How Did I Make It video. I'm going to be talking about how I made my rogue costume. Ta-da! Basically, I'm going to tell you about patterns I used, fabric I used, what materials I used. I'll give you a step-by-step how I made it. First step to any costume that you're going to be wanting to make is research. Research is so helpful. You guys really need to do your research beforehand. A lot of people come to me and they will say, hey, how do I make this costume? And basically, I go and do all this research and I'm like, hey, that's actually pretty easy. You can make this costume by doing this and that, and then someone did this for that, and oh wow, that's really interesting. I could combine these two ideas. So, you know, really just do research. It's the most important part. You're gonna do hours and hours and hours of research. Find pictures that show the front and the back and the side views and just in general a 360 view of your character that you're planning on doing. To get this lovely suit here that I made, to get this, basically I had to use a pattern. I use patterns for practically all of my costumes. Patterns are great. Never underestimate the power of a pattern. The really nice thing about patterns is that they come with instructions and measurements, and they tell you also like what kind of fabrics you should be looking at getting. Okay, after you've done all your hours and hours of research, you're going to need to find a pattern. For my rogue costume, it's a very simple pattern. She has basically just a bodysuit. Not too hard to do. I used this pattern by a company called Quick Sew 3052. Don't be afraid to mess around with your pattern or even to take some liberties with it and change it around. If this is the closest you can get to what your character's design looks like, then go with this and make changes as it comes along. By taking this pattern, and I basically made the entire view A, that's the main one with the long sleeves and the collar, in green. I made this whole entire suit in green. I basically put it on and marked on my body where I wanted the yellow to be showing up. So that's basically what I did. I just marked it. And then after that, I cut along that line and I cut out the green part. Then I used those pieces as a pattern to cut out my yellow fabric. Then, after cutting out the yellow fabric pieces, I added those in and sewed it basically like you would with the regular piece. I did the crotch piece and the leg piece, and then in the back I sewed the pieces together. And then you want to stitch the yellow to the green. So after you've got all this like put together like it would be on a regular suit, you want to stitch the yellow to the green. And it's a little bit tricky to think about, but honestly it's really easy once you put it into practice. So basically after that, I had completed it. The only thing I had to do after that was basically add in the collar, which I made a green and a yellow part, just like hers, and then add in the black detailing. This is kind of coming apart right now. I need to fix it up. But I used black faux leather, and I just cut out the pieces and glued it to the uniform. Yeah. I would suggest instead of gluing though that you sew those pieces on, just because when you wash it, it'll either come off or it'll get ruined like this. So I glued it. Not a very smart idea. So sew those pieces on. And then plus she's got two little black marks here, but since I was wearing the jacket, it was kind of hard to see it. So I just stuck with this. Next up we have Rogue's boots. These lovely yellow leather boots. Basically, I did the black and I found this stretchy stuff. They sell them at all kinds of fabric stores, so basically you just get that. I bought this boot. It came like this. This is how it came. It was just a yellow boot. And then I had some vinyl, leftover yellow vinyl from my sister. and I basically just attached it to the inside of the boot. Like so. That's probably really hard to understand or to see, but yeah, so basically I sewed it into there. And then I had measured around my thigh and my knee, and that's where I got the measurements for the black straps on her boot. And I just basically sewed those on as well so that they wouldn't move anywhere. So yeah, that's about all I can think about for what I did for my rogue costume. The jacket was pretty much something I had bought and altered to put the patches on. And then same thing with the belt. I had bought a belt buckle and basically just put on a belt, and that was that. So if you have any other questions, please leave them down below or comment on this video and let me know if this was helpful or not. I'm planning on doing some other how I made it videos, just because a lot of people have been asking, how did you make this? How did you make that? So I will go about doing a few of those at a time, and I hope that these were helpful, and if they are, I will make plenty more. So I hope you all enjoyed this and have a great day, okay? I'll see y'all later, and this is Tuna saying goodbye.